Kia ora Rotorua tonight on City News. Todd McClay announces a $3.1 million tourism venture for Rotorua. The Fire and Ice Festival lit up the town on Saturday night, and Whakarewa played a tight grand final match in the Baywide Premier Grand Final. A new $3.1 million tourism venture in Rotorua was announced by MP Todd McClay on Friday and will create over 50 local jobs. The New Zealand Heritage Farm will bring food, farm activities and local produce retail together for a classic Kiwi experience. It's aimed at attracting more than 2.7 million international visitors to Rotorua, as well as increase the attractiveness of the local visitor market to domestic tourists.
I think this is really exciting for Rotorua. Here's a couple of local businessmen who are committed to Rotorua, who have had a piece of land that over the years are not sure what to do with. They've decided to invest just over $3 million in a farm, a retail food tourism enterprise business here, which will create almost 50 jobs in the local economy.
Mr McClay says the project is expected to create 12 jobs during the build with the use of local contractors and subcontractors, and a further 35 jobs once complete. He says tourism is worth $500 million to the local economy each year, with visitors being directly responsible for the creation of local jobs.
They're keen to get stuck in straight away. 12 jobs created through the build, another 35 jobs when the park is completely open through its second phase next year. Really good for the local economy. And I think it goes to show that the economy locally is improving.
Stage 1 of the project, retail tourism, will be fully operational by the end of November this year, followed by a 300-seat restaurant by the end of May 2015. A public meeting into the concern of adding fluoride to the water supply was held at the weekend, with presentation talks from dentists, doctors and other professionals. Organised by anti-fluoride lobby group Fluoride Free New Zealand, the meeting had a turnout of around 100 people and followed the decision by the Rotorua District Council to go to a public referendum to ask the community if they wanted fluoride to be added to the water supply. 6 councillors have since signed a notice of motion allowing the issue to be redebated at a council meeting this week. The Rotorua Hospice telephone appeal is underway, and after the first week, organiser Jan Morgan says that there has been a phenomenal amount of pledges, but they are still aiming to raise the required funds needed to run the local branch.
Well, we raised about $35,000, which is significant. It's a huge amount of money for us, and we need that money, every single cent. I would love to think that we could raise that much money again, but we have less telephone numbers this time, and you know, yeah, I'm always hopeful, but hope for the best and take what we can, and I'm really grateful, as I said.
The telephone appeal runs for the next 5 weeks, so there's still plenty of time to make a pledge. The town was alight on Saturday night as hundreds took to the streets for the Ignite Lantern Parade, which walked from City Focus to the lakefront as part of the Fire and Ice Winter Festival. Lanterners were led down the streets by a samba band proudly displaying their creations, from the smaller icicle lanterns to a very impressive horse, snowmen, penguins, and the list goes on. 464 lanterns were completed over 7 weeks of workshops. The parade kicked off the final night of the month-long festival, which was in full swing, with Blaze Night bonfire being lit after the lantern procession arrived at the village green. The night ended with a spectacular fireworks and laser show and was a great night out enjoyed by many. A big thanks to all who was involved in making the Fire and Ice Festival such a great success. In sport tonight, plenty of Whakarewa fans travelled to Tauranga to watch their team go head-to-head with Mount Maunganui on Saturday in the Baywide Premier Rugby Grand Final. Whakarewa were down 23-8 early in the second half, but put up a fight, bringing it to 23-all with only 10 minutes to go. The Mount kicked a penalty and took the win, with the final score 26-23. Although Whakarewa didn't take the grand final win, they've had a great season, and a big congratulations to them. To your weather update now. Tonight will be fine with frost developing and light winds, an overnight low of 1. For tomorrow Tuesday, cloud increasing during the morning and a few showers developing, turning to rain at night with northerlies becoming fresh. A high of 13 and a low of 7. And the outlook for Wednesday, rain clearing in the morning and winds turning light and northwest, a high of 14 and a low of 8. The marine weather forecast for our Popo, variable 5 knots becoming northerly 10 knots in the afternoon and then rising to 15 knots at night, with waves rising to half a metre at night, a few showers turning to rain with poor visibility. Remember, for program listings or to watch City News again, visit our website tv.rotorua.co.nz and you can see updates on our TV Rotorua Facebook page. Still to come in the show tonight, we talk to Chamber of Commerce CEO Darren Walsh, and we have a 2-part special covering Lizzie Marvelly's pop-up performance at Skyline.
Well, today we've got a special guest for you. It's the brand new CEO of the Rotorua Chamber of Commerce, and his name's Darren Walsh, and he's been in the job a couple of weeks now, and it's great to have you on the show today, Darren. Welcome to Rotorua and the job here at the Chamber of Commerce. You've had a lot of background with small and medium enterprises, especially here in town, so just give us a little bit of background of what you did before you actually joined here at the Chamber of Commerce.
Before joining the Chamber, I 29 years experience with the ANZ Bank. I guess locally here, 3 years with the ANZ as regional manager for business banking, Central North Island, which was Taupo, Rotorua, Whakatane. And then went through a restructure with the ANZ Bank, and the opportunity to join the Chamber came up. So have a real passion for working with small businesses and helping them succeed in their goals as a banker, and then fitted in nicely with what the Chamber does.
Now, 29 years at the ANZ, that's a long time to be with one particular business, and when that door closed, another one appeared and opened for you, right at the right time.
Yeah, and look, a lot of people said when one door closes, another one opens, and you sort of get a little bit sceptical with those sorts of comments, but it certainly happened that way for me. 29 years with the ANZ was, it was a great time, and they were great employers, but when it came time to look for something else, the door at the Chamber opened, and certainly looking forward to the challenges that has in store for me.
Let's talk about the interview process. You had to talk to some of the committee members, some of the stakeholders, so it wasn't just a one-on-one interview, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was it was quite daunting. I came down to the Chamber on the morning of the interviews. I had 10-15 minutes with the staff, and they each had a question for me. Then from there I went into another boardroom where there were members, and that was probably half an hour of questions and presenting to them, and then it was upstairs to another boardroom and with the executive, and that was pretty much 3/4 of an hour of questions. It was quite daunting, but it was a good process to come through.
There was also 11 applicants for the role that you managed to ward off and secure the job, so again, that must have been pretty satisfying for you.
Yeah, I guess, when you come through the process, I wasn't aware of how many other applicants there were, and I wasn't aware of who they were. I mean, you just put your best foot forward, and I guess, you just be yourself and put your best foot out there, and it worked for me, so yeah.
Now, speaking of putting your best foot forward, there's a lot of work to do here at the Rotorua Chamber of Commerce. What sort of things are you looking to do and to improve on?
I guess at first, we've got to look at our basics and make sure that we're doing our basics right, and for that, we're looking inward. We're making sure that we get our office right and delivering what we want to deliver out of the office. We're then looking at our members and making sure that we are delivering what our members want. We are a member-based organisation, so we've got to make sure that we're putting on workshops that they want, that our networking functions are working the way they should be. We've got the focus groups that we want to get up and running. So there's a lot of things that we've got to do, but it's about building those foundations first, making sure we get our basics right, and then we'll launch and build on that, and really want to do things differently. Want to look at how we can do things differently for our client base and grow from there.
Well, let's talk about that. What sort of things can you do differently?
I think there's a lot we can do differently. I think our networking functions, the Kickstart Breakfast is fantastic. I think the BA5 needs a little bit of work to be done. We want to work more closely with the community and I guess the facilitators. One thing I've noticed is that with workshops in the community here, everyone seems to put on a workshop. We really want to if we can, pull everyone in, get one calendar so we know who's doing what, and then we can act as a facilitator and put all those workshops out to our members. And I think if we work smarter and closer with everyone, we'll be able to deliver more for the greater Rotorua community.
Let's have a chat about the BA5s, because some would say it's just a social gathering where people have a few drinks and talk about the fishing they did in the weekend, and there's not a lot of networking going on. What would you say to that?
I would say that there's some fair comment in that, but look, I was one of those. I was on the outside looking in for a long time at ANZ and going to the BA5s, and yeah, at times, the people stand in their cliques and it's hard as a newcomer to come in. But I'd have to be honest and say that the last one that I went to as CEO, certainly no changes that I'd brought in, but they have changed. The BA5s are more about the host, and we want the host to run them as they want to run them. We want it to be a showcasing of the host's business, and it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg, and that's what a lot of the hosts will say to us. Hey, it costs us a lot, there's not a lot that we get out of it, but I think there can be, and I think we just need to tweak it, and I would like to see a bit more networking being done. But as I said, the last one I went to I was quite happy with, but certainly some changes that I think we can make.
Now, over the years, we've caught up with various members of the Chamber of Commerce, and they've all talked about how important their relationship is with the Rotorua District Council. Now, obviously, Stevie Chadwick's got a big vision with 2030 vision for Rotorua. How closely are you going to continue working on those relationships with the council?
I think the council relationship is a key for the Chamber, and it would be fair to say this is week 5. I've met with the Mayor now on 4 occasions, and on each of those occasions we've expressed how we want to work going forward, and I think that's positive. It's positive for the members of the Chamber and businesses of Rotorua, and I think, it is a key relationship, and we certainly will work very closely in that regard.
Now, just one final question for you, Darren. There's still a lot of empty shops here in Rotorua. What can we do? What can the council do? What can the public do? What can the Chamber do to help fill those shops?
I guess, look, there's a lot of different things that can be done, and there seem to be a lot of people over it at the moment. We need to work closely together. I mean, I've already met with the inner city focus group. Look, I guess there's lots of things that have been talking about that we can do. It's the car parking, and it's getting businesses back in there. I think what we've got to stop doing is cannibalising. We tend to, a space comes up at the Central Mall and someone comes out of the Central Mall and goes there, and we create an empty shop. We've got to stop cannibalising and make the inner city, the CBD, central focus again. And I think there's a lot of people working on it, and the Chamber's certainly keen to get involved and assist where we can.
Good stuff. Right, Darren, appreciate your time and welcome to your new job.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Okay, well, when you're doing news stories, very often you're talking about situations out and about in the community, and one of the things we kind of try to avoid, obviously, are stories on collisions. Today is very different because we're up at Skyline for a pop-up concert with a lady who knows all about collisions in a positive way. How's that for a build-up?
That's a great build-up.
Lizzie Marvelly is with me, and I really appreciate your time. Beautiful day up here.
Stunning.
Now, we've
So
popped
stunning.
up for a pop-up, haven't we?
We have indeed. Popped up the mountain for a pop-up show.
Now, last night, obviously, you had your concert to talk about the release of and perform the release of your new
Yes,
EP,
yeah.
Collisions. I want to go back a bit, though. Obviously, people think of the name Elizabeth Marvelly, they think sort of semi-operatic style and things like this. This has been a paradigm shift for you to go a little bit more poppy, a little bit more different market, I
Yes.
guess, different genre.
Yeah.
Why?
Because for me, the last couple of years had been very much about being true to myself. And, I had an amazing experience when I was singing classical crossover, and I travelled the world and, had just met some amazing people. But I realised that I didn't really love the music anymore. And for me, I have to love the music. So, the choice to write my own music and to sing more pop was just purely a personal one.
I want to talk about the whole songwriting thing because that is a sort of a debut move for you.
Yes.
Has it been hard to make that transition, or is it something that's just been happening to you as a person as much as anything?
It's been happening to me as a person,
Yeah.
and it's funny. I've had a lot of interviews where people have said, "Oh, why this change?" They've talked to me about imaging and branding, and it's not about that for me. It was just, I've had some amazing experiences and some not so amazing experiences over the last couple of years, and it's been very much kind of growing up, so I just really wanted to write about it.
And I think it would be fair to say too, for all of us in different ways, nothing we've been through like in those areas is wasted, is it?
No, never. And I mean, I look back at my classical crossover career and have really great memories, and it taught me a lot. It gave me a lot of experience on the road just as a performer, so I'm really grateful.
Okay, now let's talk about Collisions. This is the release of your new EP, and a little bit of detail for the people at home.
Okay, so Collisions is my debut EP, as you said, and it's basically 5 songs that I wrote over the last 2 years, and I wrote with a couple of other artists, a lot of collaboration, and then wrote some things just me by myself. And it's about, those 5 songs are kind of a snapshot of what I've been doing, what I've been going through over the last couple of years. So it's amazing to finally be able to share it with people.
I think it would also be fair to say that when you're writing from your own experiences, there's a little bit more authenticity that comes through from you again as a person.
Absolutely. I think that, it was a very kind of organic journey for me, and I just feel like I do have complete ownership and authorship of these songs, and they're just, they're in my heart, they're in my bones, and to be able to have them on a record has just been so exciting for me.
And a little bit more casual with the Lizzie thing too, eh?
Well, yeah, I mean, Lizzie, my friends have called me Lizzie.
Not to denigrate Elizabeth, obviously
No,
not.
no.
I don't mean that, but it's kind of like, it's more, we kind of get to know you in a different way.
Absolutely, and it's funny that you should say that, because I actually found that, when I'm on stage and I'm singing these songs, it's completely me. I don't have to be overly formal, or, it's a very different kind of environment. And I love it because it means that I can come from sitting here and talking to you and then being on stage and just being the same person.
The same Lizzie.
It's so cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's look at the future, obviously, in terms of marketing. And it's not about imaging and marketing, but the marketing of you as a person, you as an artist, is very important.
Absolutely. I mean, the music business is a business at the end of the day. For me as an artist, I try and focus as much on the art as I can. I'm really lucky to have some great management, a great publicist, and they're kind of my team who are around me. And
Bit of a family backup too, isn't there?
Yeah, so my mum and dad are so supportive. My mum's here today, which is amazing. So my manager's in Sydney, my publicist is in Auckland, and we're just we're a team, and I love that. I love having a team of people around me. My guys who are playing for me today, just really great guys, and I love that kind of real team environment.
It's interesting you should say about the whole team environment and the fact that you're not a single entity, you are as an artist, obviously. Let me ask you, as far as the New Zealand music scene is concerned, Lizzie, how important is it then to have good management, good people to sort of guide you through some of the ups and downs, and there will be both.
Absolutely, massively. I did self-manage for a little while, years ago, and I'm really glad that I did, because I got a really good kind of cross-section of what happens in the industry. So as an artist, to have that kind of insight is great, but it's so important, good management, and it's even having my manager who I can ring and say, I'm not sure about this, or what should I do here, or she's saying, in this song, that lyric, I think you should change it, or when you sing this, maybe go from this part to this part, or, just really great advice.
A lot of good input.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Obvious question, why Collisions? Where did that come from? Is it collisions between the genres, maybe?
Well, I mean, yeah, for a title. We chose it as a title for the EP because it does represent that. It kind of represents the colliding of my worlds. But it also, for me, the actual song is about a bad relationship. I think we've all been there. And it was just every time, I should have known better, but I went back a couple of times.
Welcome
and every
to
time,
life.
Exactly. Every time it was like a head-on collision. So that's kind of where it came from.
We don't need to go any further.
No.
That's great. I tell you what, if you get a chance to get the EP Collisions, it's a great thing to have, and obviously even a present for somebody.
Absolutely.
You never know, and we wish you all the very best for the future. You're very much part of this Rotorua scene as well. We like to think we own you in a way.
Of course you do.
But New Zealand does too, so all the very best, and thanks for your time.
Thanks so much.
everyone.
That was Lizzie Marvelly performing at Skyline as part of her new album launch and visit home recently. Don't forget, if you have any news to share with us, give the station a call on 07 3488 984, or you can email news@tv-rotorua.co.nz. And to watch the show again, visit our website tv-rotorua.co.nz. Thanks for watching tonight. From all the team here at City News, Pomaria.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.